Alrighty. Let's see. See, my microphone, everything's correct. My Streamlabs, I had to update it last night. I just want double checking everything's good actually. Microphone, yeah, that looks fine. Hopefully the audio is good. It should be good. I think it looks good. All right, cool. Let me remove this. I don't need you. Cool. I think that's it. All right, guys, welcome. Welcome to another stream here today, or another video if you're watching this in the future when this gets uploaded. I hope you guys are doing great and wonderful on this day. It is Friday. It is Friday, guys. It is Friday, right? Yeah, yes, it is Friday. It is Friday, guys. Friday. Whew. Over the weekend already. Starting the week. Just one more day. All right, then, guys. Well, we're gonna continue off where we left off last time. I think I got everything ready. Hopefully everything's good. Let me know. Feel free to let me know if everything does not look good. All right. So I did look into that issue that I was having with the squirrels or just any wildlife that I'll be having here, and the reason why it was like freezing when it started the level. I can show you guys what I did to fix that issue. So if I go back into my initial, this is the testing. I was like, why is it empty? So if I go to my NPC stuff in here, this one here is going to be for all the wildlife, like the squirrels and everything. I know in the last string I ended up changing this and changing this to a skelly instead, but now it's back to a squirrel, and I believe I have fixed it. I have not seen the freeze after loading it a few times. I'll be, if it happens in stream, it's gonna be kind of crazy. But it happens sometimes, you know, it does happen. But I ended up fixing it. So let's go into my Limbo AI. Let me show you what I did while I was doing to order to fix it. It was actually a pretty easy fix as I was going through this behavior tree. So I decided to go to each individual behavior trees, nodes in this behavior trees, and of course this is the one that I thought was the issue at first, but it ended up not being the issue. The issue ended up being here in this select random near pause range. So in the code that was happening here, I was having a while loop. Actually, I can show you my GitHub stuff because I haven't committed it yet. So this is the select random nearby pause from node, which is basically what this was at top. And the red part, oops. All went out. I didn't mean to take you all off. All right. So here in this GitHub, the red part is the one I deleted. And you can see there's a while loop inside of here. So in this while loop, basically it's checking to see if the position is correct on the random position that it was selecting, and it was do this while loop until it found a good position. And I believe this is the issue that the squirrels are happening. Weird that the others also are using this node. Select a random position near a node. They're also using, but they never triggered this issue here, except only the squirrels for whatever reason. So I removed that and ended up keeping just this instead. So what I did is that instead of doing it in a while loop, I just gonna leave it and do this logic if it's not a good position to do it in the next tick, rather than just doing it in a while loop. And just let the update do it for me. So if it's not a good position, and so I can actually just go in here. If it's not a good position, just keep the node running until he finds a good one and sets it into the blackboard and returns success. So now I don't have this while loop here anymore, which is great. I missed that while loop here. It's just I don't really like using while loops, so sometimes I do use it when I want to iterate something pretty quickly, but sometimes I forget to remove it. But yeah, so let's get into the game real quick. Actually, you know what? I may need to. It'll be easier to. Actually, I don't have my Visual Studio here open yet. It's to bring down the radius, or where the enemies can spawn within the village, so that we can actually see everything. So let's go back to right here. So you know, let's create some const int, and let's call it offset. Come on, Visual Studio, you can do it. Let's do offset, and let's do a 2 in here. It can be a 0 actually. It doesn't really matter. So we're just bringing this back to normal, to a really small value now. And let's save that. Let's save it and build it. Cool. So this is done building. Let's go in here. Let it Godot reload, and there we go. Well, let's run it. I swear that this freezes when the level loads again. I would be so. That's strange. It sucks having bugs like that. You don't know exactly where it's coming from. But I did test it a lot last night. Just reloading the game, I never got it. But who knows? Cool. So all my enemies are back. And then we got some squirrels down here. See a little squirrely down there, another squirrely down there, there's another one down here. I gotta fix this issue. Another, which maybe we'll look into it right now, is that some squirrels just get stuck. And here I believe the issue has to do with the path is going to the water. I think the water doesn't have any, whatchamacallit, or it's still walkable, the water, and I need to make it so it's not walkable, I believe. And I think this one's gonna get stuck too. Yeah, see, it got stuck since there's collision around here, so they're not able to go through. You know, one thing we can do, if we can go to the squirrel, we can, if we go into my A-star, I can debug draw the path. We can check it to see if that is the issue. I believe it is, but let's double check real quick. Let's load into the game, into test. All right, there we go. You see a big red mark right there. Oh, yep. Look at that. They're going straight into the water, but since there's collision around the edges of the water, they're not able to go through it, which is why this one over here is stuck, because it's trying to go through, but you should go around it instead. Okay, interesting. So one good thing to know. Whoa, where are they going? Oh, they're also going all the way up there for the trees. That's interesting. Look at that. They're trying to go to this other the village, and looks like they're trying to go for the trees in there. Okay. Well, I wanted to do that, which is why I'm getting this error right here, because they can't find a path towards that point, but somehow they're going to it. Oh no, I think this one's stuck here. Doesn't know where to go, I think. Are you, or are you still moving? Oh no, you're still moving. You're still moving. There's some not able to do anything. Ah. I shouldn't be able to go up here. But I mean, I also don't have any problems with it because I never get to see it, right? By the time I get here, the scrolls will be already in view already, and it should be okay. But they shouldn't be able to reach all the way up here at all. Interesting, interesting. Well, one, let's fix this issue with the water. I don't want to see anything being stuck. So this looks like the logic. I'm pretty sure I'm not adding any. I'm not setting the water to be not walkable. Let's see. This is ground environment. That chunks non-walkable. Yeah, this is basically what I need. I'm just gonna copy it for now in case I do need it. Yeah, there's another one here, but this is for the trees and all of this other stuff. I need the water section. It's mountain, beach, and ocean. I'm not doing beach and ocean at the moment. I'm doing pond. Let's go into the pond. On the pond, we set the water and underwater stuff. Populate the underwater stuff and add it to a pond tile, which is fine. All right, so I'm not setting this to be not walkable. So yes, this should do it. But paste it in here. Yeah. I can paste it in there. Let's build it and see what's up. It is done building. All right. Let's load in once again. What music is this? This actually sounds pretty cool. Ah. All right, so let's look into this. Let's zoom out. Oops. There we go. Yeah, actually can see them going around now. They're not gonna get stuck anymore. This one is not stuck anymore, which is great. It's going through all the way over here. We got another scroll going all the way over here. That's great. And this one's are actually going around the pond too. Look at that. So the issue that I'm thinking about is, should I fix this here? And it always going to the same ones too, I think. Which is, I think it should be fine. But I feel like, I don't know. Should we add like a distance check? We can try. Let's see how it will look. Let's try it out. Let's go into the script. Oh, actually, it's going to Limbo AI. I'm going to this script. I can expose value. In range. Distance, I guess I can call it. Put it as a float. And it started off with. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Am I? No, I can actually. I was thinking if it should be in world space or not, or on tile position, but it should be fine. There's no. Let's do it. 2 tiles away, at minimum, at least. We can always update it in the inspector, which is the plan. But I would like to do. What I'd like to do. I would like to keep this as the main one. And I would like to create another one that could be like filtered. Right? So everybody that's calling this in here right now, outside of it will be the filtered one. And I would like to keep var current range. So let's float 0 0. We'll create a function here called filter group nodes. I'm gonna name range float. I think that should be fine. So inside of here, I would like to create this and do a plus equal range. And I was actually gonna put it here. Let me remove this space. That's a good way to filter this out. Filter group. I'm gonna say filter group equals just a regular group here. And it's gonna be a node. I forgot the actual syntax of this. I'm gonna have to come back. Hold on, because I'm confusing it with other things. You know, when you work with multiple languages, just forget the syntax. How it should look like. Okay, so func. Let me just copy this entire thing here. Alright. So let's just do that for right now. And just return if we're doing this. The global position dot distance to. I can also do squared, but if it starts lagging, I can actually do squared. Distance to the agent's position. Also global position. And if that is less than or equal to the current range that I set up earlier. Okay, so let's go through this. Actually, let's go and call this here in the entered section. Let's call filter nodes, and what I'm gonna pass here is gonna be the range distance right now. And then we can do a check right now in a bit. Let me just I wonder if I can put this in multiple lines. But anyways, I'm going to this filtered. I have this filtered array. And this is like the main group that I have everything in that I don't want to modify. And I'm filtering it for all the nodes starting here. And I'll return if it returns true if the group nodes starting here position distance to the agents. Well, no, should it be the agents? Or should it be? Yeah, it should be the agent. Yeah. So the tree, in this sense, this node here, the tree's position, the distance to the agent, which is going to be the squirrel, and it's less than the current range that it's on right now. So right now I only have it at 32, which is 2 tiles, which is too small. So I'm definitely going to be incrementing that in there. But one thing I would like to do as well is say if this is empty, and just to double check, making sure that this is not empty, we can try incrementing this size until I find somebody. Another thing I could probably do this in an update. So if this filter one is 0, I actually don't care about that. I should probably say, hold on, let's do it here instead. And the larger current range are always going to be increasing, which is fine. We can increase it by 32 tiles. I probably would like to go a little bit higher, but let's see. Yeah, it should be fine, I think. Because regardless if the main node is empty, it's not going to go through all this filter stuff because it has nothing to filter since it's empty. And then it comes into here and say if the filter is empty, which it is, and then check to see if the main array is empty. It's not empty, which it is empty. So this is not going to go in this if statement, but it will go into this statement and return failure because this filter array is empty. So it'll be fine. And I guess I could also just bring this back and see if it's approachable, because I thought the issue was here, but it's not. So, but I don't need it yet, so I will probably come back to it. Yeah, I think it should be fine. So if we go back to Limbo AI, going here, I don't know why it says 0 there, but yeah. So I'm gonna just put 4 tiles away. Oops. See, 4 tiles away plus it's gonna be 8 tiles away. 12 tiles away. I think it's a good start. 192. That's 12 tiles away from its current position. Let's try that and see how that looks. Save that. Let's go into the script, make sure that is saved. Let's play it. Let's see if we can choose a different music. Give me a second, y'all. I forgot which one was I on. We'll find out.
I can't.
No ads, please. Yeah, I like this one better. Alright, let's go into tests. Hopefully no issues. Alright. Fix this so it doesn't go all the way, but hold on. You know what? This probably the other ones are going to a random position because I couldn't find one, I think. Huh. Yeah, some are going random, which is fine. That was the plan. After all. I may have to do some tweaks though. Okay, as long as they're not disappearing. Cool. So maybe instead. Hold on, let's do this. Because I'm returning failure all the time. So if this is empty, the main one is empty. I mean, the filter one is empty. If the main group array is empty as well, then I guess we return a failure rate. Just let them roam around. Else, all we can do is just return running. So it keeps running and it keeps ticking, and this keeps increasing, right? Let's do a log here, and then we'll do what's the name? What's the just print error, right? And in here, range, current range. Problem is that everybody's gonna tell me this bug here. Hold on, give me a second. Do I want it to do it? I want everybody to print this error. So if the main array is empty, then you just return failure. There's no point to keep going forward. But if it's not empty, then I wanted to keep going to get bigger and bigger. Because if I return failure right off the back, he just goes to this other sequence instead and just chooses a random position and moves to that location and hopes that there's a nearby tree. Excuse me. Which is not a bad thing, because once it reaches this, it will go back up here, get a node, and finds a tree. Then great, it does it. Otherwise, it just keeps roaming around and around and around. One thing I can do though, how can I tell how many times I've done it? And if it's done it a whole bunch of times already, then just despawn, so they're not out in the world. I was trying to figure out how to do it without keeping track of it. I know they have this counter here, but I don't know how that will work with the way I have it. Let's see. I can make this bigger, huh? Okay. Where is that one with the counter? Forgot where it's at. We have a run limit. Is that with the timer? Oh, this is just how many times it limits it to a certain amount of time. Got it. There's one with a time limit though. Ah. That's not a bad idea. Like I say, I have it so like if it runs for 5 minutes and it hasn't despawned. Maybe something I can add later on. I need to figure out what would be the best approach on how to do that, because if I were to do it, it'd probably be all the way in the top. Put this under selector again, because this only takes one node, right? Yeah, I should have a single child task. So right now it runs to 5, but let's say, isn't this in seconds? I'm gonna have to assume that this is in seconds, so let's say it does that in 5 minutes. And then it just despawns. That means it will fail, and then we'll go to another task down here that will make it despawn. Let's see. We'll have another selector in here. I just want to see how it will look like right now. So move those in here. So this will run for 5 minutes. If it runs for 5 minutes already, that's crazy. So we will then run to another sequence in here, which what I would do is just stop the animation. We could probably do something later on. Not animation, not the animation. I mean stop. I want to say stop movement. There you go. Stop the movement. We wait. Do a random wait, and then despawn. There you go. Stop moving. Wait for a couple seconds, and then it despawns. I think that should be fine. Let's see. Let's do out of time. Start naming some of these. And there's another thing I need to think of, because this wildlife blackboard behavior tree can be used for anybody, so I can also put it for somebody else, and that other animal that's gonna have the same behavior tree, it's not always gonna go to a tree, right? I think what I have to do instead is that the animals like squirrels or rabbits or whatever I'm gonna have in here, they will have its own data set, so that when it goes in here, it can retrieve that data set and will tell me what kind of location it wants to go. So it doesn't always have to be a tree, it could be something else. Yeah, but that seems like a future problem. Okay. Anyway. I'm just trying to name some of these to make it look a little bit better. This is the selector. We have one that says move to target, I guess. It's probably more better. Otherwise, just move to random. If this one fails, it will just move to a random position. I think that's okay. Okay. Well, let's see if this works. Let me look at this one more time. The logic for this. So if it enters, he grabs all the visible nodes and keeps that in this array that I'm not going to be touching. It's just something that I can use so that I can filter it. Inside this filter function, I'm updating the range, so every time it calls it this, it increases the range, and then it filters it out depending on the position from that tree or whatever it's going to be to the agent's position. And as long as it's less than that range, it's gonna add it into this filtered. Enter. The first time it enters this function, it filters it out right away, right off the bat, using the range that gets selected in the inspector, which is 12 tiles away. And then going here, I created this timer, but I don't think I need it anymore because I was trying to figure out what the issue was with the freeze that was happening when the game was loading. So I may not even need that anymore. So you know, let's remove it for time being, just to keep this tick function a little bit cleaner, since I'm not going to be using it anymore. Alright, so going back to this tick, I'm checking to see if the filtered array is empty, but the array that I'm not touching of all the nodes in that group is not empty. So there's stuff in there. And if it is, I call this function again, filter groups, which then increases the range once more. So it's going to be 24 tiles on this time around. And it filters all of that and gets all nodes that are within 24 tiles of the agents, which is basically all the trees. All the trees that are within 24 tiles. And then it comes back here after it does that, if it goes in there. And then check to see if that filtered array is empty. If it is, I check to see if that array that I'm not touching is empty. If it is, just return failure. Otherwise, that means there's stuff in it. So I'm gonna keep this node running. So then the next tick, it comes in here. It will then add it again, another 12 tiles distance away, so it'll be 36. And it keeps doing that, as long as there's stuff in here until it finds something, right? Otherwise, it just returns failure, and it does the other node that we just did, where it just moves to a random position. Otherwise, it grabs this node, a random node from that filtered array. And as long as this node is valid, it keeps going down here, it sets it to this blackboard tree and returns success. Cool. So if every time this returns null, failure, it will just break away from this sequence and we'll go to the next sequence, and it just does a random position. And I keep doing this until it finds the tree and it picks up in this case for the squirrel, picks up an object, which is a twig, and then it moves back to its starting position and despawns. But if it keeps going here and never found anything, and it's past more than 5 minutes, then it should break out of here and it's out of time. I stop its movement, wait 5 seconds or whatever, and despawn. Another thing I can do is move this back to its starting position and then despawn it because it's out of time. No, that's not a bad idea. Can I copy this and put it somewhere else? Yeah, cool. Oops. I'm just gonna copy this. I think this is a better option instead. Oops. Wait, this is not a starting position, my bad. Maybe. I'll stop my wait for 5 seconds. I'll remove that for the time being. I'll just move it back to its starting position and then despawn it. I should have kept it actually. There we go. I think that's much better actually. Rather than staying in its own spot and then despawns. But this time it moves to its starting position and then despawns it. I think this is good. Let's run in and see if it actually works. Alright, let's load into the game. Test. Oops. Hey, damn. Amachi actually went all the way to 11:52. That's crazy. Everybody found something though. It wasn't like before they were trying to go around here and doing a random position, but everybody has something, which is great. Ooh, cool. I do have some other thoughts in here. So let's say I have squirrels are going a long distance to go to a tree, right? But I'm walking and I'm changing to another chunk, and then I go to another chunk and it despawns this tree. What will happen to the squirrels? I mean, I think the squirrels will despawn, but let's say it was a squirrel was going for a further, like a really far away tree, but that tree gets despawned because I went to a different chunk. I think I'm gonna have to keep track of the tree that they're going for and see if it's valid and check it so that I'm able to keep going forward. Yeah. I think that's the plan right now. It's something I need to keep track of for sure. Hopper, welcome to the stream, buddy. Hello. Now, what are those red lines? I ended up enabling these red lines, which is basically the path of the squirrels or NPCs that are going to. So this is their A-star path position. And I enabled it because I wanted to debug it and see where they were going. This is a debug path for the time being. But I think I'm in a good spot to disable them now that I fixed the issues that I was having. Hold on, let's see. I always forget the command. Set time noon. There we go. There is that. There we go. It's not always dark and stuff. Cool. It definitely looks a lot better now than it did earlier when at the beginning of the stream. So definitely good to go. Their path, they're not trying to go over the water anymore. That's why I enabled it earlier, Hopper, because the path was actually going towards the water. But the squirrels were not able to go to the water because the border or the outline or the edges of the water had collision on it. So it looked like they were stuck. And that's the reason why I enabled the path, to see why it's getting stuck, and it's because it was going through the water. So I fixed that. And it's looking a lot better now. Debating if I should increase that timer out of time to be more than 5 minutes. Cool. Cool. Alright, so let's disable the path. I don't need it anymore. Just disable the debug draw on that. So the other issue is the one that I mentioned, is that if the tree that they were going for just despawned. So I'm gonna say check. What's a good name for check for valid node, or check node valid? Check. I'm gonna say check for valid node. Or not node, but check for valid check for valid. I guess check for valid is fine. I find it funny that I'm always assigned to the Jiggly avatar on your chat. I think it keeps a reference to what you had before it. I don't know if the commands work. I believe you can change where you want to be. But hold on, let me see. I might have to bring that up next time, because I don't know the commands much for that. Give me a second, let me see if you ever wanted to change to a different character instead. Discussions, maybe? How do you change character avatar? Oh, let's do. Oh, you don't mind? Okay, cool. But yeah, I should have that anyway. Yeah, I'll probably have that in the next stream, maybe, or at least be prepared for that. If you guys ever want to change characters or whatever. But yeah, he remembers the last time, and the last Pokemon he had. But that's why he always chosen as Jigglypuff. But I'll make sure to add the commands to be able to change characters in the future. If there's a way. I'm pretty sure there is a way. Alright, so in here we'll do a fun tick. Return status. I think by default I'm always going to return success. But we're going to be checking for just grab this so that I can retrieve that node here. So we're gonna do this and just check to see if this is always valid. Or one, yeah. So is instance valid? Which just the target. If it's not valid, right? Or this node visible equals false, and return failure, because trees are added into my pool, which is they're not visible. So if it's not visible, that means it's in the pool somehow. or not trees, but everything's gonna be in my pool, in my object pool. So if it's not valid or if it's not visible, and return a failure, that means it's not good anymore. I think that's all I wanted this to do. Well, you know what? Should it be an action though? Hold on. Should it be a decorator? Now add decorators here. I never actually added a decorator before. Because can I add newbie decorators or whatever? I mean, I do have one with in range. Hold on. This is just a BT action or a BT condition. Alright, let's extend to a BT condition then. And we can do this too. Okay, let's do that real quick. Hold on. Yeah, so let's change it to a condition. And in range, I also want to copy this. So it's pretty cool to have this in there too. Which means I'm gonna have to add a tool at the top. It's not going to be in range, but is valid for target node or just target var, I guess. Am I missing something? Oh, I do need this in here. Okay, it needs to be in this array thingy. I'll have remove this part. There we go. There we go. Cool. I believe this is all I wanted it to do. Now that I have that, let's go back to Limbo. I thought I changed the name of that. So it's valid. Interesting. Okay. So there can be some updates here in this selector thingamabob. So what I would do is I'm gonna change this type to be a dynamic type. Dynamic selector. I don't know if it will work, but I'll just do it in here. Let's add a dynamic sequencing here. That's always gonna be running on top. Or hold on, because it doesn't know what the node is until it actually goes in here, right? Because it gets this random node, and at this point is where it actually knows that it has a target. So in that case, all right, hold on. Do I want to check for null then? Do I want to ignore if it's nothing in there, and if it's null or empty or whatever? I don't know. So what's the initial value of this target? Right, so right now the target is an object, but what is the default value for it? Is it going to be null? I'm gonna assume that it is null. And another thing, that starting position is out again here. I don't know why it keeps getting removed. I have no idea why it keeps getting removed, but it's not there anymore. I'm just trying to figure out where to place it, because if I put this two-way high in the top and I'm checking for that node and see if it's valid, . it's gonna break out of here and just not work anymore. What is the plan here? No, one thing I think I know what I'm gonna do. So we go to dynamic. Do I want a dynamic sequence here, or should I have a selector again? I should just do a selector. I believe I want the selector here. So in this selector, I would have dynamic sequence, which then inside of here I have this. Checking to see if this is valid. If it is valid, what I would do instead is, which is the one that reverts it backwards? Is this one? Yeah, so it's this one here. So I want to invert it. So whatever comes out of here, it's going to invert it. So if the node is not valid, it's going to return it true anyway. It's going to keep going forward. That means that includes it if it's null, right? So if it's not valid anymore, we'll go and try to find a new node. And that's all I need to do. What I can do is that I can stop it too as well. Where's the stop movement here? Stop the movement, we'll wait random seconds or whatever. Random wait. Not in here. Oh, it only has to be one node, huh? Fun. Hey, what happened to the wait seconds? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? You know what, I just delete it. Hold on. This needs to be... No, it's good. I don't know what's happening there. We'll wait. Stop in the movement, wait a couple seconds, and then try to find a new tree. So this would be the first thing it will do, because the first time it comes in here, it's gonna go in here. It's gonna check to see if it's validated target, and it's not. So this is gonna return failure, but this inverts it to a success, so it keeps going forward. If it's a failure, if this is a failure, right, it keeps going forward, and we'll stop the movement, go here, go and select a new tree. So it will work if it's the first time. Otherwise, if this is valid, that means this returns success. This inverts it to failure and doesn't keep going forward anymore. And then I can move this inside of this selector here. I probably don't even need that second. Let's move you out into there. Let's move that. So what I'm gonna do is does this, then it goes in here. I'm debating if this should be as, I don't think it needs to be a dynamic sequence. I just need this to be dynamic, to always be checking it consistently. And then coming here if he has a tree and it keeps doing its thing normally. And if this fails, then that means it goes here, or out of time, I mean. It should never ever go here unless it goes out of time. Yeah, I think that works. Otherwise, if it's within time, it's always going to be in this area. And it's either going to move to the target. Oh, but wait, hold on. What happens if it doesn't have one? We can always have one here as well then. if it didn't find one on top and selects a new one, I guess it kind of keeps going to here, huh? It's always gonna keep going in here because this tree is not valid. That means it's never gonna do this move random one. What I can do is I can put this on top instead and move randomly initially. Excuse me. Hold on. Yeah, and this thingy on top will make it so it never goes in here though. Do I want scrolls to move randomly now then? I think I also want this to be within the 500 seconds. It's only one, huh? Okay, hold on. I might need to. This is a regular sequence. I have to change the other one to a dynamic one, I think. This one here. Dynamic selector. But this one's our regular. And the reason why I moved it here is because what happens if it keeps going and trying to check for a tree but it never finds anything within the 500 seconds? I mean within 5 minutes? And it should go out of time, right? Invert. Okay. So if I have this, do I want it to do and go to move to a random position afterwards? One thing we can do then is to add. We just do just the sequencing here. Or no, you just move this on top. What am I doing? Move this on top. Right? I'll only do this, and then I will check to see if it's valid first. That'll be the first thing I'm gonna check. Or target, but I'm also need to do invert. Oh wait, yeah, it has to be invert because if it has a target, I don't want it to move to a random position. So we'll do an invert first on that. So if there's no target, I want it to move to a random position, and I will move to it, wait a couple seconds, and do its thing. Otherwise, that means it has a tree. Alright, so let's go to the top, making sure this is gonna work. Okay, so we got a dynamic selector, which then goes one of the shouts, check to see if it's within 5 minutes. If it is, it's gonna go to this top selector and go and check its children. And in here, one thing we can do here is check for valid target. Right? We're checking for a valid target. So right now we check to see if the target's valid. If it's not, returns true because I return success because I invert it. And if it's success, it keeps going. And if it keeps going, that means because we don't have a target, right? So it stops its movement, waits 1 second, and gets a random target, which is a tree. And then I go into this other sequence I have in here. I check to see if that target's valid. If it's not valid, it returns success because it's an invert, and it just moves to a random position. But if I end up finding a tree in this thing here, right? That means this is gonna return failure, and it's never gonna go in here. And that means we have a valid target. So either it's gonna go in this current tick, or in the next tick, it's gonna come in here because everything succeeds, right? It's still within the 5 minutes. I have a valid target now, so this is gonna return a failure sequence. So it's gonna go to this sequence now, and it's gonna go to that position. Go to the tree in this case, picks up the object, despawns, whatever, right? Otherwise, if it breaks out of, because it's out of time, it's more than 5 minutes that this guy's out there, then we move it back to its starting position, I despawn it, and this is where this range come from. Interesting. Alright, I think it should work. It looks solid. Well, why not find out? Let's see what happens. Let's start it. And this will work. So if a squirrel is going for a tree that's super far away, and somehow this tree gets despawned because I went to a different chunk, the dynamic sequence would trigger right away and be like, hey, it doesn't have a valid tree anymore. Either because the instance is not valid, or the tree is not visible anymore. It will try to get a new tree. At least right now it looks kind of solid. I don't know. I mean, I will never see it actually happening, but because I have to wait 5 minutes anyway. I mean, I can reduce the time and see if it actually works though, but cool. So this guy grabbed a twig right here. I see that twig in its mouth. Oh, you can see the twig in the mouth, and it's gonna despawn right here. Somewhere around here. There we go. Great. Well, I guess it's kind of working. We do have some that are going outside of bounds, but I wonder who that can be. I'm gonna have to figure that out. We got someone that are on the edge. That one disappeared. I'm hoping they got his, whatever he got, his twig. Is someone out of bounds right now? I got a couple paths here going out of bounds. But so far it looks good. We still have some squirrels here going around. There's 2 squirrelies over here. Great. And then we have Scotties and Slimes attacking me right now. Whoa. That's cool though. Seeing all these enemies here now. That's great. Still needs a little bit more tweaks, but so far it looks good. Another thing I would like to add in these is add a shadow on him. I think that will make it a lot better. But that will be in a polishing stage. Let's make it noon again. Set time. Noon. Are they throwing? Yes, they're throwing bones. Kind of makes sense, right? They're throwing bones. I don't know, they get instantly regenerated or whatever, but that was fine and interesting. One thing I would like to add, I was just thinking, is adding a shadow on under them. So it makes it a little bit better. That'll be polishing stage. cool. I mean, I can watch this all day. All right. So let me see if there's any more squirrels out there. I am a little bit closer. I'm not seeing squirrels anymore. I think they did their job. They did what they had to do, either because it was out of time or whatever. So the one thing I need to debug and test is check for a squirrel that's going for a tree and then despawn and see if it tries to go for another tree. Oh, that's gonna be hard to do though. There has to be a squirrel going for a tree that's on this side, but that's kind of hard because all the trees are here. Okay. It's something to debug for sure. Alright, let's go into the C++ real quick. So now we can increase this back to 20. And have this working again like I did before. I need to oh, you know what? Let's debug this part here. Actually, no, let's bring that back. I need to debug why or someone going outside the bounds of whatever they're going to. Alright. The question is, I don't know who is the one that's going out of bounds. Let's put that, let's build it again. I recall doing a check on that. Where do I go for that? A star character to the it's A star here. So regardless of what path am I going to, I'm always checking to see if it's valid. I check to see if that point is valid. If not, I just return null or empty array and they don't do nothing with it. So if it's out of bounds, I'm assuming this is what this does, right? The region has to be right, and assuming it has to be in tile coordinates, so it should be fine. We have another one here, but this calls this function, so it should be fine. If it returns empty, oh, I see. That is a problem. Oh, hold on. There's another while loop here that I don't like either. Crazy. So what it does is try. I think that's what's happening here. Even though if someone is using this, even though it returns empty here, it tries to find something. Another thing I can do here. Oh, it does have a break counter though of 100. Okay, that's okay, I guess. So there's a 2 buckets there. We increase this. We can then check to see if this point is valid rather than actually trying to go there and see if we can fix that error here. So let's do this. A second to fix this. Did I A-star grid this from this new position? So if it's not valid, do I want to return the path? Do I want to break? Yeah, because I could have found something. So what I can do is just break, I guess. Either break or continue. I'm a break. That is what it is. We'll just break and see what happens. Let's see if it still does it. Okay. Did the other one finish building already? Cool. Cool. Alright, let's run it. Let's see if we can still get these logs in here. Leave it running for a few seconds. Hold on. We're fine. I gotta remember to remove this range thing. Just waiting to see if we get that issue that we're the point not being found. I should probably check to see if that point is valid, like I am with the ranges, and also check to see if it's not walkable, and just return or whatever. I think that's another check that I would like to add. And in the meantime that this is doing this, let's do it. So if it's not walkable, so here we check to see if at any point, what am I doing right now? Copy. If the point is solid, that means it's not walkable, and I just break. Just break, I guess. Or new position here. I should probably do another check here and see if this new point is valid. Rather than trying to do an A-star position, because otherwise it's gonna fail anyway. Yeah, see, we're getting points here. Weird. It could also be because of this issue here. So we can try adding those in there as well. Check to see if this point is valid. I should probably create functions for these so I don't have to keep doing that all the time. It's a pretty long check. And it's target plus diff. And just say if it's not solid, that means it can actually go there. So we'll do that and do that. Otherwise, the path is going to be empty anyway, which is fine, I guess. Although if it's not solid, then it just finds that path. Or another thing I can do to clean this. Oh, no, I can't, because maybe I can't. Hold on. Let's clean up this function a little bit. var, I'm just gonna call it current target position equal to equals target position right? Then down here, we can just do a plus equals diff. If it's still, if this point is still solid, that means not walkable, just return the path, I guess. Or just return empty, whatever you want to return. I can remove this. Let me see if it should be fine. There we go. But instead we use this here. And that should be good. So let's go through this. If it's null, blah blah blah, it keeps track of this target. Path is empty at start. If this point is not valid because it doesn't fit in this region because it's out of bounds, assuming that this is how it should work, then I return the path, which at this point is empty, which should be fine. If this point is solid, that means it's not walkable. We try to get a position, offset that position a little bit and update the target position. And actually you should probably do this in here too. And then I check this point to see if it's solid. If it is solid and not walkable, that means it just return path, and at this point it should be empty. Right? Otherwise, if this point that I initially started off with, either because it is walkable or this difference offset is also walkable and it updates the target position, it will come out here and generate a path for that. And I think that should be good. Alright, so one thing I would like to do here is clean it up a little bit. Let's do a func has region has position, and just pass in the actual position. All right, vector 2. It's going to be a bool, and just return if a star to the grid region has points, which then I go and get the main tile layer, local to map. What's the main tile? Yeah, main tile map layer. I don't know why I don't have that function there. And get past into position. So all I have to do now in here. Oh, because it's a node, that's why. All I have to do is just call this instead. It makes this look a lot better. A has position, which is great. I'm about to do that where the solid one is as well. It's point valid. Alright, I am doing it here. Why is it returning false? I think I want to see if the point is, yeah, okay, I see it's walkable, I guess. But basically it's the same thing. I just have to say the opposite of it if it's not valid. Yeah, so okay, I can do that. Okay, 1 segundo. I know there's another one here that I was doing with the region. It's this one here. That makes it look a lot better. And then we can use this other one here, this point valid, which uses a target position. But this should do it if it's not valid, right? If not, it's point valid. We'll go in here, do this thing. Same thing here. If this point is not valid, cool, it's looking good. It comes in here, it does the same thing for this one, this point. And just say it's not valid. Oops. If it's not valid. Nice. Little cleanup right here. Cool. I'm not saying that this is gonna fix this issue. I don't know if the region part is the right way to do it. To see if that, I think it should, because the region is telling me the bounce of this, right? Okay, anyway. And let's save that. Let's run it. Let me check real quick something out right now. Alright, let's go in here. Cool. Let's go into test. And we'll see if that log prints out. And it already does right off the bat. Interesting. So maybe that's not the right way of doing it? Or am I not passing it correctly? Cool. The question is, who's the one that's doing it though? Can't get if point is disabled. Point, whatever, out of bounds. -60, yeah, this out of bounds. I was hoping I could fix that though. Is this the right way of doing it though? Does A-star grid have any other values in here? Hold on. Anything that can tell me if jumping enabled? Interesting. Okay. So, ooh, size is deprecated. Good to know. What is compute cost, estimated cost, clear, fill region, fill la la la. Partial path. Get point data in regions. Get point path, partial path. Ooh, I'd like to know what this does. Get point position is 30. Is in bounds. Maybe that's what I want to do. I'll check to see what that is. It's in bounds. If you want to pass in as a vector, it's point solid. The point and update. You know, let's go into this. It's in bounds. What is this? Returns true if the x and y is a valid grid coordinate. If it is inside the region, equivalent to, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. That is basically what I'm doing. Or maybe I could call this and maybe it does something internally. Let's see, it's a vector I, so it should be tile coordinates already. And the other one, I wanted to check to see what is this allow partial thing. Additionally, when allowing partial is true and into ID is solid, the search may take an unusually long time to finish. Wait, hold on. If there's no valid path to the target and allow partial is true, returns the path to the point closest to the target that can be ooh. So I'm actually doing that myself. But I think this will do it a lot better than the way that I'm doing it. Interesting. Okay. This method is not thread safe. Okay, if we call a thread, we'll return an empty array and we'll print an error message. Additionally, when allowing true and to ID is a solid point, the search may take an usually long time to finish. Okay, this should be fine. Interesting. Interesting. How do I want to handle that then? Alright, so first things first though. I don't think it's going to change, but it'll make the thing a little bit better. Is in bounds. And like I said, it has to be a grid coordinate already on the main tile map. Let's see if it's a point within the region. Okay, the other one that I want to check to see is right now it's to retrieve a point from this point. Or should I do it when it comes to calling this one? So if this one failed, then I can try calling it again. Instead of doing all of this stuff in here, I can try calling it again. Because it's basically doing the same thing again, right? Let's see how that would look. Instead of me doing that all the time, I'm gonna pass the target position. Wait, yeah, allow partial path is false. And then return true for allow partial path. If by going there additionally it didn't work, and try to do it again and then return true for a partial path. I think, yeah. Any wrong thing to do with that? So in this case, since that point was solid or I couldn't reach it for whatever reason, what happens if there's a point halfway through and it can't go? I guess, yeah, that's true still, right? So if I have a path and then it goes to this path, but halfway through that, which is where my Pikachu is at, that means my 2ID is not walkable. Or maybe it is walkable, but it's not within this range, I guess. It can't find a path towards it. So that means it's gonna try to find one around the Pikachu path nearby it, I guess. I'll have to test it and see how that looks actually. Yeah, so sadly it's still getting it, but let's try this version of it and see how this looks. Cool. Yeah, still getting it. Oh, yeah. I don't think my FPS is not working anymore, and I don't see it updating anymore. Something happened to it. I just wanted to see if the FPS looked good or not. Something's happening here. Why should I always return a partial path at all times? Hold on, let's just return true here. And I want to see if it actually does that at all. Because I think I'm getting this error even though it's calling this only. Because there's some are actually just calling this one, right? So if it's just calling this one and doing a path towards it, it's gonna return, you know, this. But if it's doing this and calling this and return empty for whatever reason, I guess I will still get that error, wouldn't I? And then I'll try to do this with the true. I know this function doesn't really make sense calling this function even though it does the same thing, but I just want to test it out and see if I'm still getting that error. And my headphone died. I can't hear the music anymore, but I should still be able to hear me though. Alright, let's see if I'm still getting that error. I may start charging my headset then while I'm streaming at the same time. I got music again. Let's go. Alright, let's see. Let's zoom out. There we go. I'm still getting it. Lame. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out why this is happening. And the question is, I don't know who's the one doing it. I don't know if it's the squirrels, if it's the scallies, or slimes. We have we have one guy out here doing his thing. It is all the way on top, out of bounds. Maybe the slimes are doing it. No, so let's enable well, enable all of them. Let's see what happens. I don't want to, because it's gonna get confusing, but let's see. We'll do the squirrels. We'll do the slimes. And Skellies. Oh, Skellies already has. Hold on, is that right? Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was about to say, I thought I had it enabled already. There we go. I don't know, I'm tripping right now. Alright, so let's run it again and see. Let's see how that looks. The music's so nice. Yeah, I love this music. There's sometimes it comes up with some music that I don't like, but majority of it looks pretty good. But in the future, I would like to actually do my own like playlist. Ooh. Thank you so much for the. Oh, I cannot pronounce your name. I apologize. I apologize for that. I don't know how to pronounce it. But where did the name go? I don't know what happened to the name, but thank you for the subscribing. Appreciate ya. But yeah, so I was saying is that I would like to create my own playlist and be able to have more control over the music, and maybe have a chance for you guys to change it too. I'm gonna have to look into that and see how that works. if it's difficult to do or not. Right off the bat, someone's getting it. Let's zoom out. Who is going out of bounds? Who's the culprit? I don't see anybody going out of bounds right now. Or, you know what? It doesn't... Oh, well, there's a guy up here, though, trying to... A little slime on top. Yeah, this guy's going out of bounds. Look at him. Let's look at the limbo. Let's look at the behavior for these guys. I believe... What are slimes doing? Are they basic or they're melee? I think they're melee. They use their bodies to tackle you and all that. Let's remove this on you right now. Let's go to the slime. What is your behavior tree? Melee, okay. So let's go into melee. Load melee. So right now you're in patrol, right? It checks to see if you're in patrol. It does this thing. And check for players. Not going here. That's the probability of doing 95% of patrolling, or going into here, or was just being like idle. Otherwise, it's moving to a patrol pause into that direction. And moving is not doing anything crazy right now. So if patrol is not set, it tries to go to that location. And I set it to true. If at any point there's no navigation happening, it does it by manually and moves it manually without doing any A star. Let's go to the agents and see what this moved to. I think it just calls it to the A star, I think. Yeah, it goes in here, retrieves the pause, which we were in. It debugs draw them if it's possible, or it clears it out any previous ones. It gets a new path, and this is where we were at earlier. But it's still, I checked to see if the point is valid and the region is valid. So why is it? I feel like this is incorrect somehow, because it should trigger one of these. If it doesn't have this, if this point is not in this region, then it just returns the path, but it's empty at this point. And check to see if that point is valid, it is walkable. And if it's not walkable, it tries to do an offset target position, which is not even needed because I'm passing a passing through here anyway. I'm gonna have to dig it deeper into that and see what's happening. I don't want chat controlling the music. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I could probably be crazy. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there can be an option to see if the music should be changed, and I have the major power to decide if I should change it or not. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I for sure wanted to create my own playlist. That's the main thing. I'll have to look into that though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this deeper later, maybe off screen, maybe over the weekend. Or maybe I'll stream. I don't know if I'm going to stream it this weekend, but for sure I'll be on Monday. I don't know if there'll be any random streams over the weekend. Okay, so I'll just leave it like that. I mean, we had a good place for them right now. Another thing I added as well. Actually, I didn't show you guys yesterday when I was showing all my art. I do have this other character that I have, which can be like another enemy. So it's like an idol. I was working on this last night. And getting some animations working. Not the greatest, but it does its job a little bit. So we have this where it's just gonna do like a little bit of walking. And then it's just idle. It's trying to make it look a little bit better. And then when it's attacking you, I can use the same attack feature if it's holding something like a sword or whatever if it decides to have, if I decide to have something on it, and you can use it to attack. So I'll definitely be adding that. Or like I mentioned yesterday, not yesterday, in the last stream, is that I think I'm only gonna have left and right. There's just so many animations I have to keep track of, especially for someone like me that's not an artist. Hold on. Let's do a new empty frame. Let's put you at 15. And I would like to create a new one after this. But here I'll just flip it. So I have the right side of it. We'll do it here. And this is going to be a new tag, which is going to be idle rights. Oops, I misspelled that. Now maybe a magic. Ooh, that'll be interesting. I could probably still use the same animation. It looks like it's throwing magic around too. I was trying to make it be like a universal attack where you could do multiple stuff. So this could be like a regular melee attack, which is just punching the character or the target or enemy, whatever. Or if it's holding something, it looks like it's still, you know, attacking with something, wooden sword or whatever it's gonna have. But a magic also works too. It looks like he just threw a magic towards it. I may add more animations if it was a magic attack. It looks like it's holding something, or like powering up that magic attack and then throws it. I mean, I could do something in engine where I can keep it in this range here, and then it continues forward. It's just powering up an attack or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking far ahead already. But that's a cool. Thank you for that. That's a good idea. And let's do 16. Wait, what did I do? I meant not 16, 21. Yeah, 21 here. And I want to copy this left. Right, so I move this and put it here. New tag, walk right. And then I have this. Well, actually, no, let's do a new frame. And then attack level, attack right. Oops, what happened here? Copy. Why does it go all the way over there? It's 25, right? Okay. Is it 25? I don't know why it goes all the way up there when it didn't do it before, which is strange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This one has an extra frame. Cool. And tack left. Ah, right, I mean. So you can try exporting it now. Let's export this bad boy. Export sprite sheet. Layouts. Yeah, we'll do everything. Let's do 6, I guess. So that way it's not like super long. We can always update this later. Here's the output. We'll move it over to my art section. Art. This assets art. You have normal ones and magic ones here. Yeah, I will have to give that a test and see how that looks. That would be pretty sweet. For it to add like different types of attacks. We got Skelly. For now, I'm just gonna call it hooded enemy or whatever. Hooded. Yeah, I guess hooded enemy is fine. Oh, it's already. Should I have a good name for this guy? What could be a good name for this guy? I could change the folder later. I'll just leave it like that for now. I'll put it in here. Yes. Export. Alrighty. What you can do is go to the slime or just copy one of these guys and duplicate it. Yes, I know, which I'm just gonna put it as hooded for now. I'll find a good name. So let's open this bad boy. I'll change the sprite sheet on this guy. Maybe base. Load. Go to assets, arts, enemies, human. We'll get this guy here. And what is the... It was 6 by how many? 6 by 5? Or 5 by 6? That's 6 by 5. Animation, so... Oops. There's 6 of them, and there's 5 vertical ones. Let's go. And let's change the color because this one's green. Let's not have a shader on it just yet. Still debating how I want this guy to look. And then I have it on top of here. 17. You know, I should have done is copied the other guy instead. It's okay. I'll just bring the stuff here. Got the health. Move it a little higher. Got the states. Where's the state at? Layouts, transform. That's not active yet. There you are. Let's just move you a little bit higher. And let's look at the animation stuff for this guy. Make sure it looks solid. Let's go to idle left. Let's disable this. We'll go here. So we're doing idle left, so this is not the right one. Let's cancel this. Put you over here. Oh, you know what? This also was a slime. Let's rename you too as well. Put it. The slime also has on the base. Where's it at? Split. I don't need that anymore for this guy. Reset. Let's just remove this. I don't need you. Now we have this idle left, which I want that to be disabled. Alright, there we go. So the animation range for this is from 0 to 5. Oh yeah, actually that looks pretty good though already. It's only a 0 to 1. Or does this look better? Does this look better, or does... I actually like this one a little bit, but... Oh, I'm going up. I mean, this looks fine, actually. Man, I'll just leave it in the 0 to 1. Instead of using all the 5 frames that I have, I'm gonna have to delete that. Alright, let's choose idle right. I don't need this flip thing. Idle right starts at 6. And then I have this to 7. Yeah, that looks great. It doesn't have any jumps. It does have an attack though, so I'm gonna have to put that in there. Same thing with flip here. I'll remove it. And the move left, which starts at 12. Yeah. How it would look like if I just keep increasing it. Actually, this is the highest it goes, 15, yeah. I could put it to 1. Say I change this to 1. It'll be a lot slower. I guess I'll have to test it and see how it actually moves. And see how that goes. And then we have move right. Which also has this. I don't need this. This starts at 16. And at 19. So I could do the same thing here. Or I want this to go all the way to 1. Cool. Now let's manage my animations. Or I could rename them. to be like an attack. I'm just gonna call it, say, attack left and attack right. Cool. Rename those. Let's go into those. This has a lot of more stuff in here. I gotta figure out this shadow stuff, which I can look at it later. Remove this. I don't need you. And attack left. Hold on, let me revert that back. So the attack left starts at 20. And then it goes all the way to 24. Do I want it to be faster, maybe? Or about 0.5? Promote this to 0.5. Yeah, that looks great. I'll fix the other stuff later. Cool. Let's go attack right. Change this to 0.5. Move this over, make sure it's at 5. And this starts at 25. 29. And delete this flip. Does it have the... No, it doesn't have the flip. Did I flip this correctly? Oh, I forgot to flip it. Oops. Give me 1 second to flip this. Flip, 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 flip. I know it has the flipping here, but I don't want to really want to use that. I was having some issues with it last time, which is why I'm not using it. I'll save that. Let's export it once again, just to make sure it has it. Export sprite sheet. Export. Yes, overwrite, por favor. Now it has it. Cool. Actually, you know what? It shouldn't be infinite. I mean a loop. Here's the regular one attack. Same thing for attack right. Making sure that it's not looping. Idling, all the other stuff should be fine. Let's check his behavior tree. I mean his animation tree. Everything should work fine except for the attack. It's not doing a pounce, but it's doing a melee instead. So let's rename this to a melee. I think that's how I have it with the rest. Skellies are also doing melee, so let me look at the animation tree for this. This is a skelly bone. I don't want the skelly bone. Animation tree. Yeah, so it's called melee as well. And inside of it is just a single 2D. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to this guy. Going here for the melee. I don't want to be a 4, so I'm gonna have to update it actually. Let's put a blank space of 1. Call this melee as well. I'll delete this one right now. No, I guess I'll just add it now. I'll change the name right now. Let's add attack left on this side and attack right on the other side. Cool. Let's rename it to be as a regular melee. We'll attach here and attach here. So we'll go in here. What's the... We'll do it if it's attack. And do melee. Oops. I'll do that. Otherwise, I will go back here. If it's not attack. Do I want to switch this immediately, or do I want it to finish this thing first? We can switch it off immediately, I guess. Cool. And so if I ever do want to decide to do in the future, like we talked about if I want to do animation, so or magic, or be like a magic attack here, attach it and do the magic attack here. But that's if when that day comes. So I'll need to test it out. I'll be on a different stream. Okay. I think this looks solid. Let's try it out. Let's test it out in the test scene, actually. I do have an agent spawner here. Right now it's spawning a squirrel, right? So let's make it so it spawns the... It spawns the hooded enemy. Let's see how that looks, guys. Right now. One thing, let's save this. Did I do anything here? I don't know if I did. Let me double check. Behavior tree. That's fine. Put it and then using the melee attack, which should be fine. Okay. Let's just start the testing then. I'll test that out real quick. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it does not. Whoops. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add it to the pool manager. Whoopsies. Let's open the pool manager, shall we? Pool manager. Alright, so I just need to add this guy. And here as well. So we'll create a new pool item. We'll add the hooded enemy here. Oh, I don't want pool managers. I just want this, please. There we go. Now we have it there. Right now I'm just gonna call it hooded. We want, just put 10 of these guys. And let's put this name here as well. Now I'll say put it there, save that, close it. Do this. Let's go back to the test scene and start it. And make this a little bit bigger. Let's pick up some of these weapons. Add. Let's set the time to noon. Oops, I misspelled it. Set time noon. Alright, are you here right now? Oh, here he is. I think it would look a lot better. Actually, no, this doesn't look that bad. I feel like maybe it's a little bit too dark right now. And it looks like it's doing the wrong animation right now too. The Y swords, I mean not the Y sword, the origin. I need to update it. But it's doing the slime animation on here because it looks like it's sliding towards me and it shouldn't be doing that. So something got stuck and it's using the wrong. Hold on. Maybe it's the punch one. Hold on, let me a second. I have to come back. To put it, I think I need to update the attacks here. Yeah, so it's doing range attacks. Oh no, it's empty. What is this attack here? It's a pounce attack. That's a wrong attack to do. Should be a punch attack. Let's look into that. Let's see. Punch attack. Do I have any here somewhere? Punch attack. What is this doing? But it does the melee attack. Got it. Okay, so this is the right one. Quacky! welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Everything's going great. A lot of stuff been done since the last time you were here. Maybe not visually, but a lot of fixes. A new character too. I should need to end the stream soon though. Time flies. Just give me a. I just want to try this out real quick and then we'll finish it off. Alright, so let's pick up this, add, let's change the time real quick, set time to noon, going here. Do you attack me with the new attack or do you do something else now? There we go. It's actually doing the attack. Still kind of pointing towards me though, but it actually does the animation, which is great. It's not doing the, you know why? Because I removed the material shader that it had before. Let's go with Skelly. Let's attach the material that this guy had. Oh, this one doesn't have a material either. Okay. So this is also not doing that flicker effect. It is just the slimes. Great. Well, I guess I should use the slimes then. Let's go into the base and just copy this material. So you fix the tree generation and you quest you got? Yes, I fixed the tree generation. It's actually in a good spot. That's why I work it with the enemies now. And the quest GUI, I'm still that'll be a task for later. It's on the list. But the functionality for it's actually in a good spot. Alright, so let's add the material back to this again. That's the last thing I'll test. We'll be good to go. Paste. One thing I would do is make this unique. Make it unique as well. Ooh, do we have something going? Brian, thank you so much for subscribing. Very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. And let's put the color back because I don't want this to be this color right now. Normal color, please. So now when I attack it, I should be able to see it flicker. And add alright, let's go back on top. There we go, now he flickers. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Alright. So new enemy added. Just wanted to tweak it, maybe make it look a little bit brighter. It looks too dark. Or it might be okay, I don't know. It'll probably be an enemy that will be inside dungeons anyway. But cool. Anyways guys, I'm running late. There's 16 more minutes than I should have been streaming. But anyways, we did some cool stuff. We progressed today. Fixed the issues with the A-star pathing with the squirrels. It's not lagging or freezing the game anymore, so that's great. I fixed the issues with the pathing and with it going to water when it shouldn't be, and added this new enemy here. But cool. It's easy to ask stuff in here. Cool. Thank you guys for being here, be on the stream, or if you're watching this later when this video gets uploaded. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Signing out.